Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another Etheria Restart video. And today we have a bit of a community feedback. That's right, this is going to be our guild specific feedback, but also I want to draw attention to essentially the community manager's recent post. He said that he's wrapped up a call with Jack and some exciting communication is inbound. Now this is very important, okay? They're listening every day and trying their best. Hey, you know what? I actually agree with that. For a game that just came out about 2 months, we have been pressuring them quite a lot, but that's because we actually think the game has a lot of potential and we don't want that potential to go to waste, okay? Because after the most recent patch, though, my goodness, there's some glaring issues and they need to fix that as soon as possible. And I know they said no balance patches outside of kind of the during the RTA season, but I really think they need to do that. And if you take a look at the official Discord feedback, right, the difficulties, the Liliam issue, the player retention, and all of these are things that need to be addressed. So hopefully we'll see a big announcement soon, and I've kind of forwarded my feedback along with my guild to the devs as well, kind of going over the things that we need to change. And if you have your own, let them be known, post it in the comments, and hopefully we can forward that and get your voices heard as well. But today I want to share my thoughts on kind of the balancing and the future of the game with regards to how to improve things, and also just want to shout out that they are aware of this and the community manager has already said that hey, we are looking into things and hopefully a brand new announcement is coming up next. Now, without further ado, let's take a look. And again, I want to preface this by saying that this is, of course, more on the competitive side. If you guys don't know, Scarlet has some of the best RTA players, so this is, you know, going to be a bit more in terms of PvP focused. But I think the general idea is going to be the same moving down. But yeah, anyhow, let's not waste time and talk about it. Previously, around the end of Season 0 in RTA, it was actually quite good, right? We had a rock, paper, scissors situation going with the crowd controllers, the tank, bruisers, and cleave, because the tanks and the bruisers, if they don't, you know, prep for the cleaves, and they were just going to get revelation down, right? If they are, you know, shifting towards to counter revelation, then the crowd control teams can just take them down. So it was a very interesting balance, and they need to bring that back, because right now at the top end of RTA, it's all just bloodbath and lighthouse. Alright, it's a grind fest. Each match is taking about 20 to 30 minutes and things are so damn slow. So they need to fix that, whether it be reverting revelation buff by nerf by a tiny bit, or, you know, making the turn 2 teams not as strong, because right now the revelation got a 30% nerf, and also the turn 2 teams, the units like Holden, Rahu, they all got a buff, right? Absolutely insane. So they need to fix that. And our suggestion, I'm not going to go into the greater details of the percentage changes because everyone's going to have different thresholds, but essentially thresholds needs to be turned down for bloodbath and making it tank less damage for you, and lighthouse cooldown increased as well. Now, in terms of cleave and DPS, it's very difficult at high-end arena right now to cleave, right, in the RTA season if you're against really strong turn 2 teams. We thought Liliam was going to come in and fix that, but for some reason, either a bug or something, Liliam is not doing much at all as a cleave unit or doing damage. So she's actually a really good turn 2 unit by having bloodbath, and yeah, that's just kind of against what our initial thoughts about Liliam is going to be. Hopefully we get a Liliam buff, I really hope so. Other things like Rosa following up ignore effective resistance, that's again very specific. I can post this so you guys can see the specific recommendations, but for the buffs, the goal is essentially to make sure that it's not just the turn 2 stall team with Bloodbath and Lighthouse dominating the upper end of RTA, right? We want to see variety. We want to see characters that can be used across multiple different content. You know, we want to see damage dealers make a comeback, or crowd controllers that you use for Doki Doki being able to take down tanks as well. So hopefully, the more variety, the better. And of course, with more units being released into the game, we should have a flourishing meta. Now, in terms of PvE, please, just nerf Rango. I absolutely dislike how Rango is so difficult. I mean, I understand that not every single PvE mode needs to be super easy and just cleared right away, but my goodness, Wrangle is just, I hate that game mode. I hate that game mode. Hopefully we get a character that can make Wrangle a joke, or we get a slight tiny bit nerf to Wrangle would be very nice. Now, one thing I really want is the continuous battle system to be increased. Currently, at 3 stars, we can do 10. I want that to go even upwards of 50. Right, if possible. I mean, you're not going to use all 50, but sometimes if you just want to stamina dump your entire refresh on the day on something else and do 30 runs after claiming all of the rewards, you should be able to do that. And all of this is part of the idea of streamlining PvE and making it less tiring, because the PvE fatigue is real. Every time I see Ethernet rally alongside Ember track, the tower system, I just, oh my god, I don't even want to open these game modes. You're fighting very similar bosses, and there's no auto clear, and you are essentially every once in a while have to go through all of that all over again. So hopefully we will get that streamlined, and the quality of life comes a long way in terms of improving or decreasing the PvE fatigue. Now, I'm really looking forward to having more shells. I think shells being a huge part of this game defines metas, right? Like we had the Revelation meta, now we got the Lighthouse meta. Shells actually make the Animus or the units feel more in line with specific themes. So I really like how shells work in this game. They are essentially the signature weapons of other games, but it's free and you can farm them. So hopefully we get more shells in the game and add better pity or reroll mechanics in obtaining those shells, and reconfig ships is always nice as well. Because I hate nothing but trying to roll for a red speed in the middle line, and I keep getting more blue 7 speeds. I hate that. And also the lattice. They're suggesting that, can we convert some purple lattice to perfect lattice? Personally, for me, lattice is scarce and you have to plan very carefully. But I also think that this is the one bottleneck that the game has. I think the game should have some bottlenecks one way or the other, because if everything is just, given to you, you literally have nothing to work towards to, and there's no gradual power incremental increase. So for the lattice thing, yeah, it doesn't bother me that much. Now, farming flexibility. Currently we're on a monthly X2 schedule, which means basically outside of X2 you're farming shells 24/7, and then you've been saving up all of your pots so that when the X2 weekend drops, we are going into the gears and all that. I understand that it severely limits the flexibility of where you're farming. I personally do like that, having this kind of schedule. I don't need to think about where I need to farm, but I kind of understand that, if we have X2 tickets, maybe we can farm elsewhere during the month as well. And also GVG loadouts separate from the RT arena stuff is going to be very nice, because I've made mistakes going into GVG thinking I can switch gears around, but it's actually my arena set which is locked. And more crafting shells or modules using mats and running events to allow you to reroll or customize specific shells to essentially increase or lessen the RNG aspect of things. And of course, GVG UI, auto mode, we talked about standard banner rerun, all of these quality of life suggestions and the crafting are not bad as well. And Inferno, hopefully we 3 matrix gears or a minimum at the moment. Anything with a 2-liner we basic delete, so maybe we could just remove that all together. We'll see. This is more kind of the end game kind of thing. And then reset events, we had one very early on, and I don't think we are getting another one after, because they are having the thought behind we are essentially going to make it so that we don't nerf during the RTA season, so that it doesn't impact you as much, and hence the reset event is not going to be a huge thing. Anything else about Phantom Theater, Union Boss Cage in the background, again comes back to PvE fatigue. And yes, PvE fatigue is so real, because if you're spending more time doing PvE, that's less time spent doing PvP, right? So definitely is one thing. Hopefully that is being addressed. And PvP being slow, that's due to the turn 2 teams on Bloodbath and the Lighthouse. Yeah, and players definitely prefer buffs over nerfs as well. And maybe tone down the RNG, the real random number generator. Someone asked what RNG stands for. Essentially, it's the randomness, because you know what, the gear is random, the upgrade of that gear is random, the shell is random, the matrices and the stats it drops is random. So yeah, we need to fix that. And more events, more skins, 100% more skins. I want some lewd skins, you know me and my channel. Boobas everywhere, beach outfits everywhere. So yeah, hopefully these get heard. And I do look forward to what's coming up for Etheria, because I do like the game. So I want it to succeed. Anyhow, it's TimaeuSS here. Thank you so much once again for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye now.